What?
Huh?
I don't know what was just said right there.
All right.
Really?
Well, let's go with Keyshawn first because he did play for Jerry's Dallas Cowboys.
What are you saying right there, Key?
Yeah, would you please translate?
I'm not spending any more money on y'all ass. That's what it is.
But what do all in mean? Like, I thought all in meant like.
No, not pushing everything to the table and giving.
So he meant to say all out.
No. What he has decided to do at the end of the season was use the words all in, so it ignited the mindsets of the Skip Baylesses and the Michael Irvins of the world to think that they was getting ready to go out there and spend record-breaking free agent contract money and all of these sort of things.
Right.
What he said on all in, like he said, is you've got to sometime condense things down to realize that, that's what he's telling you. Right now, here today, Skip.
So all in today.
Today.
Only today.
We ain't thinking about tomorrow like everybody else. Because we got the quarterback, he under contract, so let's go. You here. You got contract, you here.
Right
we got other guys that got 2 and 3 years left on their deals. One's missing, the other one is in camp. We're not worried about contracts. What we worried about is erasing that 30-something year history of not getting to the NFC Championship game first and foremost. We're not looking to extend the head coach. If you want an extension and you want big money, take care of business right now. And I'm willing to overpay if you do your job. That's what he's saying. Because he's tired of hearing the Skip Baylesses of the world every week coming out talking about how much money they spending, they ain't winning nothing, this, that, and the other. That's all he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying. He's not giving another dime to anybody anytime soon. So let's giddy up, let's get going, and let's try to win some games, Skip. That's what he's saying. And he will address your contract when you take care of business. And if so be it, you decide to leave in free agency because whatever reasons, then guess what? I got another guy that I could turn to, potentially in Trey Lance, or I can find another quarterback.
Yeah.
Because that's who he's speaking to.
Who do you think he's speaking straight to Dak?
He's speaking to Dak Prescott, but he's also talking to Micah Parsons, and he's letting CeeDee Lamb know, we right now ain't even thinking about your contract. That's what he's doing.
I mean, I think he put
Keyshawn, you sound like Jerry's press secretary.
You asked me.
I know. I got
what he said, though, Skip.
All right.
I'm giving you.
It sounds like that's what he said, like, perform, let's see how we going to do.
Absolutely.
But that's all based on the playoffs, because based on the regular season, they've been successful.
Yeah, but he don't care about the regular season. All this man talk about, what does this man say about the postseason record in Dak Prescott? He's 2-5.
Right.
That's all Skip harps on.
Right. Well, this happens in every sports. I feel like in sports, when you get ownership and then certain players, they get put at the crossroads, Skip, because you look and say, man, on the flip side, I have one of the best corners in the league. All right. Parsons, one of the best at his position. Dak, second in MVP. So now I'm asking myself, hey, these guys, based on their numbers, they demand high salaries. Based on their numbers. If you just throw the wins and playoffs out the window, based on what Micah Parsons, 5th most sacks in the first 3 seasons in NFL history. Dak, look what he did, second in MVP. Come on now. And we already know about CeeDee Lamb. We already know what he brings to the table. So is he going to pay all this money to be mediocre, is what he's saying?
That's what he's saying, because he's been doing it. That's what he's saying.
Like, is he saying, should I be paying billions in revenue and taxes and payroll and all of this
and he
to be mediocre and get the same results? And so it was just sort of like he was just kind of flipping his tongue and saying all these other...
his tongue.
Yeah, like, that's what it said. It was confusion in one way. Say, I ain't paying nobody a damn thing until we figure it out. But how you going to figure it out if you got CD sitting out? Like, it's almost you got to pay him.
What's important to you? It's important to you to prove, because it's, as he said, it's a proven year.
But if CD's sitting at home and you start the season,
okay,
what you gonna do?
But here's what, unlike your sport, because I don't ever see NBA players sit at home.
Ain't no sit out.
Ain't no sit out, right? No. Unlike your sport, right? Unlike his sport, Skip. The owners in the National Football League, they play games up into pressure points. And what I mean by that, right now, there's no pressure point. Yeah. He ain't missing nothing.
Yeah.
But when he started missing them checks, see, that's what Jerry is banking on stuff like that. Because I ain't gonna miss no check. I'm Jerry Jones. My yacht is as big as this building, so I'm not gonna miss anything.
He's gonna get it one way or another.
All right, but
like
he's betting on CeeDee Lamb to sit at home because CeeDee Lamb, there's two guys that I can think of right now that's not in training camp. Trent Williams and CeeDee Lamb are probably the only two that I can think of that's not in training camp. You know how lonely that is? When you're the only dude out chilling and everybody else is in training camp, that's what they bet on. When you ain't in the building, you sitting there with your girl or your wife, and that's it. You like...
But you in the back of your mind, I got at least 100 coming.
That's true. But he's banking on that pressure point to get to him to make him come in.
Sean, what do you always say about training camp? What does it do to your brain when you have to go back to training camp?
You don't want any of that.
He's chilling and happy to be chilling.
Exactly.
But guess what, though, Skip? That chill gonna run out eventually. Because as the season gets going, your body gets the its. I've been retired forever, and every time training camp run around, I'm like,
I understand.
What am I supposed to be doing?
Okay. Look, I preface again. I love Jerry Jones. I know him really, really well. I spend a whole lot of time with and around Jerry Jones. But this is lunacy, what is happening before your very eyes. That was scary, trying to follow his train of thought yesterday, which it can usually be scary. But this was just a bunch of misleading gobbledygook where Jerry was getting lost in his own explanation.
Yeah.
Because at one point, he's saying, let's focus on right now. Forget about all those months. Let's focus on that playoff game. He's eliminating the whole season, saying all that matters to him right now is how do we play, how do we perform in our first playoff game? Are we sure there's going to be a first playoff game? Because when you're all out for the whole offseason, when your draft left me wanting a whole lot more, and I think most people, because they did not get a good draft grade, they got one of the worst draft grades in the league. When you have done next to nothing in the offseason to make a team better that was down 27-0 in the single most embarrassing playoff game I can ever remember any team, any good team playing at home as the 2 seed, down 48-16 early in the fourth quarter at home against the youngest team in the playoffs, the 7 seed, when that happens and you do nothing to improve it or to shake it up at all, and now you're saying, I'm all in. All I care about is that playoff game. And he's talking about the next one they're going to play. Are you sure they're going to play a playoff game? Because I'm not. I'm seriously not sure because...
Well, I'm not sure they are either, but he feels good about their chances.
Okay, so on top of all this, The Athletic is reporting, to your point, CeeDee is going to sit out for weeks. You know, that's the prediction, and he will. And he might get itchy and antsy and all the above.
He will.
Okay, well, he will.
And they're betting on that.
Yeah, and they're betting on it, but he's got his team saying, hang tough, man, because there's a whole big... We're talking about the biggest bag. Yeah. And, Jerry was asked yesterday, why didn't you extend Mike McCarthy? Why is he still the coach? And Jerry had a 2-word answer: Green Bay. That was it. Period. Okay.
Wow,
it's fired. Because they were down 27-0. I don't know how the man kept his job after that, because that's unacceptable to me, and I think it'd be unacceptable to any other owner in this league. So the point is that Jerry is trying to explain the inexplicable. And the more he talked, the worse it got.
I'm confused here. I don't know what was said.
He's actually admitting he's a little lost right now because he's tried different things. He's tried plunging. He's tried to go arch conservative. And everything keeps changing. And now he's got 3 big contracts hanging over his head that he has not remotely addressed yet. And he's saying, I don't care because this is my life. I'm high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid. He's saying, I'm just going to go ahead.
Yeah,
right?
I like that, though.
Okay?
I like
I'm not afraid to not pay my stars and see what happens.
I'm not afraid to not address issues that people think I should be addressing. because if it's worth anything to them, they'll play at the level that they're supposed to play at to get me what I need. And guess what? I'll give them whatever. If Dak Prescott goes out there and he wins me a Super Bowl, I'll pay him. I'll give him $500 million fully guaranteed because I don't care. If I have to pay more, it doesn't matter.
So he's willing to take this risk
100%.
to say, all right, I'm not paying nobody this year.
Yeah.
We're going to play it out. I hope that CeeDee Lamb get off that couch and say, I'm tired of sitting around. Come on the field. And if they get us to the conference championship, to the championship game, then I'll pay everybody. That's what he's saying.
No problem at all. Look, as one owner in the National Football League,
That's correct.
I can guarantee you that he does not have a problem paying players.
Say they don't do well.
Then that's on them. That's what he's saying.
Dak walks.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Because I'm a blow it up after the season anyway.
You're going back to mediocrity.
Everybody is lame ducks in his mind right now. Everybody.
Right.
I'm not extending nobody. I'm not doing it until you show me that you can help me win a Super Bowl. And I will give you $500 million.
They did nothing to get better this year. They did nothing this summer to get better.
They must feel their roster's good.
I mean, 12-4 is good.
But they lost some of the people off the team that went 12-4.
They lost a bunch of people.
They lost a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And they replaced them, but Skip doesn't think they replaced them with quality players.
Okay. They have spent by far the least money through the offseason.
$5 million.
They spent $3 million on the immortal Eric Kendricks. They spent $2 million on what's left of Ezekiel Elliott. And Jerry had the audacity yesterday to say, but I look out on that field right now and I see 14 Pro Bowlers. These are players who have made a Pro Bowl.
Made it one way or another.
And I'm thinking, Jerry, where did all those 14 Pro Bowlers get you last year in that playoff game? They got you sent home with your tail between your legs.
Yeah.
And where has all your tolerance for ambiguity gotten Cowboy Nation for almost 30 years? It's been 29 years since my team even played in an NFC championship game. Almost 29 years, obviously, since Michael and Troy and Emmett won that Super Bowl in Tempe, Arizona, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's been a long time. That's a lot of years where in Jerry we trust became in Jerry we must trust because we don't have any choice.
I speak Jerry, so I kind of understand what he said.
So do I, but even that lost me yesterday. I don't understand.
In other words, in so many words, I'm cutting costs, Skip.
No, he doesn't need to cut costs.
Yeah, that is cutting costs.
He's tired of paying for a team that gets bounced in the playoffs. So he'd rather take a chance and have some starving, hungry players. One thing in professional football, Paul, so that you know, and Skip knows this to a degree, when dudes are in their contract type years, all of a sudden, they become something different. They become better.
Right.
So that's what he is banking on.
Right.
If you really want your money, you're going to play at a certain level. That Micah Parsons fading in the last 5 or 6 games.
Last 2 years.
Last couple years, he's banking on me holding my checkbook in my hand, ready to write you any type of check. So when we get to those games late in San Francisco after the bye, and we're in the fourth quarter, can you get to Brock Purdy? Can you show me that? That's what he's hoping. Can you all of a sudden become Aaron Donald for us? And if you become Aaron Donald for us, guess what I'll do? I will make you the highest paid defensive player in the history of the game. That's all he's saying. He's just doing it the Jerry Arkansas way.
Jerry Arkansas way.
I
also remind you, this man is 81 years of age. He is often, not often, but occasionally referred to his mortality, like I'm not going to be here forever. And the window is closing on Jerry's ability to go win a Super Bowl. He's also said publicly, there's no check I wouldn't write to win a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
And yet, here we are this year, and while everybody in the division is getting a whole lot to some better, Jerry's just sitting on his hands, writing no checks, doing nothing. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And unless you're you're halfway hoping, as I've told you before, that it just implodes and you just blow the whole thing up and you try to draft Shadeur and bring Dion.
You could have just traded Dak, though, and fired Mike McCarthy and brought Dion and Shadeur this year. You don't need to
Well,
wait.
I mean, you can't get Shadeur until you.
No, you could have got him. You could have got him, had him come in the draft and got him.
Oh, if you just told him.
Yeah, if you wanted to, if that was really your focus, you could have fired Mike McCarthy, hired Prime, and told his son to come out in the draft, or tell Prime, we're going to draft you next year. We just need you to coach the team this year. I mean, there's ways of getting around
but there's also a way you just tank for Shadeur next year. Seriously.
Yeah,
That's what he. That's
I mean,
like.
it smells like that.
Yeah, but
That's what it smelled like.
Yeah.
Nah, because somebody else might be worse than you. Now what?
Well, I know, but then you'd have to trade for that pick. You know, you'd be all in to get Shadeur.
And they may like Shadeur, that team.
They might.
You know, now what? You caught in that situation.
Well, they might. But again, I love Shadeur. I would.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I mean, I get why he's saying y'all not winning enough for me to pay y'all. I understand it. He's been listening to you, Skip. He's listening to you.
Yeah,
this is what you advocated for.
I have, and I got that. And he did refer to, I got Dak for one more year. Okay,
more year.
That's it. That's it. One more.
That's just telling you how he's thinking, how he feels.
It's all inevitable.
But if I'm Dak, I'm going out there, I'm going to play my best in the history I've ever played.
Okay.
And I'm going to make it so hard on you.
That means he got to win the MVP this year.
Whatever I need to do, I'm going to do it, whether it's for you or for one of them other 31 teams.
Okay. Would you agree with me that Philly got way better while Dallas got a little worse? A little worse.
Absolutely.
Philly got better, for sure. I don't know what Dallas got because I don't know what those other guys are. Those other guys might really be good, though.
Which other guys?
That they drafted, and they might be good.
No, it's not going to be instant impact. It won't be. I can promise you.
Well, it's not over with yet either, because there'll be, in about another week, there'll be dudes getting cut and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Wouldn't you agree with me that the Commanders are coming?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
1,000%.
All right. And would you agree with me that the Giants at least got a little better?
The Giants got better. Yeah.
A little better.
They got better.
All right. So 1 + 1 + 1 equals no playoffs.
I got you at 9,
No
10 wins
playoffs.
anyway.
All in the division.
I got you going 2 and 4 to start the season.
Yeah, you do.
That's tough.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.